Celia Castro here, voice teacher and soprano. So, in my travels during my vocal journey, I got a chance to work and learn an incredible amount from various people that were masters, that are masters in their field. One of those people was David Jones, that I worked with for 2 years, and took a wealth of information away from him, and continued to check out all his posts and his articles. So I continue to learn from him years later. And then also Inji Bashar, who worked at UMKC and was a phenomenal teacher. Also learned a lot from her, things that I continue to use now for myself and in the studio. So today, the reason I'm bringing those two particular teachers up is I want to talk about an exercise called the Cuperto Cuperto exercise. Excuse me, which is an exercise that kind of got a lot more attention when Alan Lindquist um, started to write more about it and talk more about it in his interviews and classes and etc. He was Kirsten Flagstaff's teacher. He comes out of the Swedish Italian school, and he's someone that David Jones bases a lot of his vocal pedagogy on. And so the Cuperto exercise, it's interesting to me, doesn't get used a lot. In fact, whenever I've brought it up to other pedagogues, or I've brought it up to students, they don't know what it is. And I think I understand why. I think that it's maybe a bit misunderstood by people, and I also think that if it's applied wrongly, if it's not well executed, it can actually do more harm than good. And that's true of any exercise, actually. If you're given any exercise and you feel like maybe you're not executing it properly, ask for guidance so that you don't spend a lot of time doing something wrong that's actually not really doing what the exercise is meant to do. But let me get back to today's point. So today's point was I wanted to talk a little bit about the Cuperto exercise, because it's a really good exercise so long as you've got some guidance and you're not hurting yourself, for helping you learn how to keep these throat muscles, how to keep the throat open, and use only the thin edges of the cord. This is good for males and females. I'm going to demonstrate in my voice. And then what I want to do is I want to switch over to an exercise that I did with Inji Bashar, which I think, to my ears and to my understanding, comes out of the Cuperto exercise, or is kind of like the next step after the Cuperto exercise. And when I do it, I'm going to do it once separately, then I'm going to do them back to back so that you can hear what it is I'm talking about. So I'm going to start with the Cuperto. So typically, when I worked with David Jones, he would have me do. So as you see, my mouth is very small. My throat is quite open, but everything is in a nice line. And if you read any of Alan Lindquist's articles, or any material on that where he's speaking about the Cuperto, he talks about that the mouth should be small, that you're focusing on that vocal tract space, and this in time, with good use, will lead to you being able to line up your vowels a little better. Now, it can get a little treacherous if you do it wrong and you're pressing or squeezing to try to do it. It should be very buzzy and very free and very ringy and pingy, but small. It should feel small but not tight. Okay, that's the difference. Now, Inji Bashar, when I worked with her, gave me this other exercise. And again, I'm giving you all this is hindsight for me. I amassed all these exercises. I did them with these teachers. I thought about them. I put them aside. I kind of kept them in a little vault. Some of them I wrote down. And only now, as an elder, can I really explain them to you, because only now do they really make sense, which is why it's very important when you're working with someone to make sure that whatever it is they give you is making some sense to you, because if it isn't, it's not going to benefit you very much. You need to understand what you're doing. What is this? What am I doing? How does this work for me? And you need to feel like it's well integrated for you, not for someone else, for you. Anyway, I digress. So I'm going to move on now, and I'm going to talk about um, what I did with Inji that I think is similar, is connected to the Cuperto, but is almost like taking the Cuperto to the next step. So same place, same area of the voice. I'm going A to A. So let's say for Inji had me do more body bounce in this. So it went more like this. Ah ooh, ah ooh, ah ooh, ah ooh. Do you hear the difference between that and what I did earlier with the Cuperto? So this one's allowing more resonance. It's allowing a bigger, a slightly bigger embouchure, more open mouth space. But you're still staying within that same track. So now, so now I'm going to do those back to back. So hopefully you can hear the difference. It's not extreme. Ah, and now the one that's a little bit more bouncy in the body has a little bit more resonance and openness, which is more what I did with Inji. Ah ooh, ah ooh, ah ooh, ah ooh. So those are the two examples. They're very close. I'm basically still using the principles of the Cuperto on that second exercise. I'm just allowing everything to be a little more open, a little more spacious. Let me know if you have questions.